YouTube, Crystal Journals Comics back again. Quick video on a specific topic here, guys. So I'm going to be posting this video probably at least a week or so after I'm filming it. The reason is because I am sending something to a fellow YouTuber. And I just want to state I'm not doing this to, toot my own horn. But it is something that I'm sending out because it makes me feel good. And I like the surprise of these things. And let me just go ahead and pull the camera down and show you guys. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this YouTuber. And this also is a chance for you guys to actually go subscribe to him. I believe he's fairly new within the community. Doesn't have too many subscribers yet, so let's get him up there. It is Genome Presents. Now, I know you guys are just staring at my ugly stack of books here. I'm trying to make it entertaining for you guys while I talk. But before I show off what I'm going to be sending, so Genome did a video, a contest entry for my 500 sub contest. Now, this has nothing to do with my 500 sub contest. But in my contest, I did ask, who is your favorite artist from the 70s and 80s era? And one of his picks, or I believe his main pick, I know he said a few names, then he was like, but my main pick is Ron Lim. And he went into showing off a couple of books that were his favorite, and I believe one of his all-time favorites was Captain America 377 that Ron Lim drew. Now, he was saying that he wished that he could somehow meet Ron Lim and get the book signed and all this stuff. So I was like, hey, I met Ron Lim before. And right after he did his entry, I got the flyer for A1 Comics Free Comic Book Day sale stating that Ron Lim was going to be there. Now, what I did is I went into my collection, pulled out a book, and said, you know what? So, I went through my Captain America run, and I found Captain America 377. Now, it's not the best copy, which kind of bummed me out. But, I mean, it's decent. I actually went online and ordered another copy from Midtown, but because of how slow they are, I ordered like a very fine near mint copy. And because of how slow they are, it still hasn't even got here. So it wasn't here in time for Free Comic Book Day. But I brought the one I got, and I got it signed. And I will be shipping this off to Genome Presents, and I just think it's like little stuff like this. It makes me feel so good, because the interesting thing obviously is Ron Lim is local to this area. He lives like in Sacramento or somewhere in the surrounding area. So for Ron Lim to be at a event in this area is not crazy, but for him to be on the other side of the country where so many other people are, in this case one of his biggest fans, he doesn't have access to him. I don't know, I've never personally, I don't know though, I've never seen Ron Lim like at some showcase in some random state across the other side of the country. So this was a perfect opportunity for me to do just something out of the kindness of my heart and to see an awesome surprise. So I did contact him and said, hey, I want to send you a little something. And he was like, oh, you don't need to say, who am I? I'm nobody. Don't spend no money on me. And I'm like, ain't like that. It's just a little something I thought you'd like. So I'm sure if he's watching this right now, he probably already has his book in his hands. Hopefully he's enjoying it. And it just made me so happy to be able to do something like this. And it's like, as a dad, having kids and doing like Christmas. I love Christmas. Christmas was huge. My parents, especially my mom, no matter what we were going through, my parents worked their butts off My mom worked 2 and 3 jobs at some points, but when Christmas came, she, you know, I had a big Italian Sicilian family, and that's kind of like within our blood, you know, just to do things big whenever we can. And my mom would always do her best to spoil us and make it so special. And this kind of reminds me of that, because I do that for my kids. And so whenever I have a chance to just kind of like do something that, and it's the surprise of it too. Like I could have told him, hey, you know, I'm gonna see Ron Lim. I'll get you a signature, which would have been great as well. But you know, like I said, knowing me, it's just the surprise of it is like, it gives that extra feel good feeling, you know? So, I'll be sending this out to him today. I even, got a picture of Ron Lim in action signing the book, which I have a copy here. In the Mylar. So hopefully this will be something really cool that he can, you know, just keep in his personal collection for, you know, for a long time. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. You know, and it didn't, you know, I'm not out here spending money, on somebody else. It's just, it was something that I could do, that it's not the value of the dollar that you put into it. It's the value of the thought, or the not the thought, but it's the value of the act itself that for me makes it so special, you know. So I can't wait to for him to receive this. You know, hopefully that'll make his day. So all right guys, go give him a sub. Link to his channel is below. Check him out. Like I said, I just started watching his videos a couple weeks ago. Again, watch his entry for my contest, because he did this really cool woodworking stuff, and he has a whole garage full of woodworking stuff, and I love woodworking. I took wood shop in 8th grade, and I built this unit myself, and if I had more time on my hands, I would love to do more stuff with wood, and maybe one day I can invest. On a side note, since I'm talking about this, not to make this video super long, but my grandfather-in-law, who passed 10 years ago now, he had, when we first had our son, we actually were living in an in-law unit in his location in Richmond, and because we were trying to get on our feet and we couldn't really afford to pay rent at that point, and we were living in an in-law unit, and he had a garage, a woodworking garage, and he had all these tools. He had like table saws and jigsaws and all this stuff. And when he passed, unfortunately, the family didn't, the family allowed the house to slip through their fingers, which was so unfortunate. The house had been in their family for decades. And, you know, when I left, we obviously packed our stuff up, and I took some basic tools that he had, but I wish I would have had the accessibility or even the knowledge back then to somehow take his woodworking stuff. But man, so the bank foreclosed on it, and whoever bought the house at such a low value ended up getting all that stuff. So yeah, that's a bummer. But anyways, okay. All right, guys, I'm wrapping this video up. Go check Genome Presents, sum them up. And hey, if anybody in this community, you know, is if there's something that you see that is just a simple act, man, make somebody's day. All right, guys. Spread love. Compassion conquers all. Until next time.